it's not transformed properly, and that part sinks down some. So it
wouldn't be the first time that happened in stock photography. So I also think if you plucked off a wind blade head and put it on this, it would make a really good shattered glass. Kicking yourself in the butt for not jumping in on these sooner.
It's funny, like right when you showed this picture, I was just like, oh, that would have been nice to have. On sale, they might have me.
Nah, you should just pick it up anyways. I just want this already to slap a Decepticon symbol on him and make him Stinger.
I think I'm more excited about this than maybe any other Hasbro. Hey, welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con.
And we're back for the first part of the week with some new news about figures we love. But before we jump into that, let's give a shout out to our official sponsor, The Chosen Prime, where you can find many of the figures we'll be talking about or any other toys that you collect. Also want to give a shout out to our members. Again, really appreciate your support. And of course, to our subscribers. Without you, we would not be doing this channel. So if you're not a subscriber already, please click that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. And with that, James, let's hop into the news.
Let's do it. But before we do that, why don't we do some channel news we'll be on the Deluxe Baldwin channel. So go check us out there. Today, if you're a normal subscriber, which is Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. And for those who were able to catch our hauls, you saw that we had some back and forth with Deluxe. So really looking forward to jumping on his channel. And we'll see about bringing him over here as well.
Yep, so stay tuned for that. But let's get into some news. So Transformers revealed that starting this week, which already happened, so we'll talk about that in a little bit, they're going to be showing off some The Wave 4 and some exclusives. And pre-orders will be available at 1 p.m. I don't know if they're going to have a secret pulse stream, but they might. So stay tuned for that. Anything you want to say about this, Bobby?
I really do hope they do have a pulse stream, because I think James and I are working on something that I think you guys might like.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But there's a private signing event with Peter Cullen and Frank Welker where you could send in your products to get signed by them. It's $80 for any product, and it's about $110 to $120 for a pop figure signed by them.
Wow.
At celebritymarketing.com.
And
OCcelebritymarketing.com, excuse me.
Oh, yes. So is it, I wonder if it's $80 per signature or for both of them to sign, you know?
I think there were two listings, one for Peter Cullen and one for Frank Welker.
Okay. I think this is really cool for those that aren't able to make it out to some of the conventions. It's always great to meet them in person, but if you're not able to, you can still get some memorabilia signed from them, which I think is really cool. It's also very smart for whoever set this up to bring in some money. So now they can be sitting at home chilling and just be like, yep, all right, yep, okay, yep, okay, all right, good.
Yeah, for everybody involved too. So I think it's kind of cool. But let's keep it going to what's just announced. So now there's a lot of stuff just announced, a lot of interesting things. But we're going to start it off with just some like movie posters and stuff. So let's get that out of the way, Bobby. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Transformers 1 has new promotional posters from Annecy Festival of Animation. And these are via Twitter user or X user or whatever it's called nowadays at Nexus Point News. So what do you think of these two?
If I was going to picture Cybertron in its glory days, that's probably how I would picture it. It looks, like a golden city. I read somewhere that they said they also saw the movie, but can't.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. I don't know how true that is, but they did say they can't review it yet. But they said they didn't say the movie was good or bad. They just said that there were some, I think, interesting
moments.
Scenery or something like images or something like that. It was very vague.
Yeah, and it probably has to be. But these images, one looks like a circus tent. Not a
Yes.
big fan of that one.
Yes.
The other one looks really cool, but it reminds me of Rio de Janeiro with the Jesus statue.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the first thing I saw. But the really cool one was this.
Yes.
This one made me say, okay, maybe there's, more than a little hope for this movie, because this looks really cool.
It does. And honestly, unless you're really looking at it doesn't look like the new version of Prime. It could, almost look like G1 Prime there when I first took a look.
Exactly, yeah. I think this is really cool. Megatron's gun looks like it's on the wrong arm.
It is.
But then the other arm looks like it has a gun too. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm interested to see. But if they showed something like this originally, I think we'd both be more excited.
Oh, if they actually, I'll say this. I'm glad they didn't show this, because if they would have showed this first, I would have been really excited and then saw it and be like, what the hell happened?
True. You are correct. So at, I guess, the same festival, this is via Twitter X user CloneWeb, and they showed off some statues. I don't know why they put their money into these statues. To me, it seems like a waste of money, but they are what they are.
I could only imagine, and I probably would have as well, because I've seen my daughter do it. If I was a kid, I'd want to go take a picture with them.
Correct, but I don't know if there are children at the Annecy Festival of Animation. This seems like something that should be at a theme park, but they're cool nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish maybe they put some of that budget into toys.
Better movie.
I wasn't going to go that far because we haven't seen it yet.
Better previous movie. The Alita 1 looks really good back there too.
They all look really good. If you see a close-up of Alita 1's face, it looks like she's very grumpy and mad, which I appreciate. So, in Mexico, they showed off Optimus Prime and Bumblebee statues, and they have some new merchandise like the patch and the magnet. We could honestly continue moving on. These are both from old movies, I'm assuming, and they just put them there. That's what they look like to me. I think that's Bumblebee Optimus Prime, and then that's another Bumblebee, I think that's a Cyberverse version, if I'm not mistaken. They're cool, but yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'd like that patch, though. Well, probably if it was a Decepticon. Next, Transformers Generations book 2024. The art has been shown off. So this is from Japanese publisher Hero X, the release on July 20th, and it'll cover a whole bunch from Missing Link to other items throughout the Transformers history, as you can see on the cover, and it'll have 96 pages. I've always liked these Generations books. I've never picked one up, but I really like this cover. Even though that Megatron, something looks off with his helmet. I think because it looks like it's cut off at the front. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking about it. But I like this.
The crazy thing is, I like the cover as well. I wonder, you said it's 96 pages. I'll probably be interested in like 33, 35 of them.
Well, it's also in Japanese.
Well, pictures are worth 1,000 words.
I do like that they picked, in their eyes, the three main groups of Transformers, which is G1, Beast Wars, and movie, which is kind of crazy to me. So, all right, now let's get into
really short, I guess.
What?
Everything else has been really short-lived.
True. So, well, let's get into the actual reveals. So, like I preluded to, Hasbro showed off a few figures, and I'm going to have Bobby talk about them first, and then I'll follow up. First one is Quake. What do you think about Quake? So, but before you do that, let me give some background. This is a Skullgrin partial. They said it's the final of the Decepticon Target Masters. Go ahead.
I don't know how I feel about this. I like the colors. Let's start there. I like the colors. I don't know. I really like the colors. Like, I really do like the colors, and it looks good. The head sculpt looks great. I just don't know what's missing. Like, I think there needs to be some more, maybe, detailed colors to break up. It's just like red. Here's a red piece of plastic. Here's gray plastic. Here's blue plastic. here's some black plastic, let's put it together, and there's like, I would have loved some details with different colors. Maybe that's what it is.
Have you seen the G1 toy of this?
It's been forever,
so we'll look at that in a little bit. So let's just move on to the tank mode. What do you think about this tank mode?
This looks, and I can't remember what the G1 looks like. So, but this looks like an afterthought. It I don't like all the gaps around the side, like where the blue is hovering around the red piece there in the middle. It just kind of looks, use your word, lazy.
I was literally about to say that. I think this is probably one of the worst tank modes that has come out in a long time. It doesn't have like a turret section. I mean, it does, but it doesn't have a solo turret section.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, it could swivel up and down, so it could move up and down, but it can't swivel. I also really don't like that the treads are touching at the bottom. Like, that's really weird. It's not wrong. It would still work, but it just looks weird. You know what I mean?
You said you don't like that the treads are touching the bottom?
They touch at the bottom. It looks like one mono tread.
Oh, okay.
You see that? Like, it just looks weird to me. And I don't like how the arms are just there. That was the first thing I noticed. And this is a Skullgrin partial, so it's probably hard to do it. But, yeah, this is really bad, in my opinion, at least this mode. The robot mode looks fine, but it doesn't look like the G1 figure at all.
Oh, yeah.
The colors are really wrong. In my opinion, the placement of colors. I always saw him more gray than that red burgundy color, at least in bot mode. And I looked at this figure and said, something's wrong with this. And then I looked up the picture and said, okay, that's what it was. They also left off the coolest decal, which is that lightning bolt with the Decepticon symbol.
Yeah.
That thing is so cool. And he doesn't have it on here anywhere. And I'm sure Toy Hacks will fix that. But then that's another $10 at the very least that you have to add to this. So I'm not happy with this, honestly, and I won't be picking it up because this is pretty bad to me, honestly. And the black Target Master's blue.
I did I did notice that. Well, so the lightning bolt that you mentioned, even if Toy Hacks, Repro Labels, whichever you want to call it, does come out with it, we also need a kit to fill in that gap on the side. So that's also, kind of...
Yeah, it has nowhere to go on the side of this tank because of how it transforms.
Yeah. Now, unless, it's not transformed properly and that part sinks down some, so it...
Wouldn't be the first time that happened in stock photography. So,
right.
We're just judging it off of what they put out.
Yeah, but... I think the bot mode definitely looks a lot better than the alt mode, and you see on the original figure how it had like the silver, stickers on the chest and things. That's like what I was talking about. It just needs something to make it pop out a little bit besides just the boring blue and red. And again, I like those colors together, but it just looks kind of dull.
Something I saw online was people said it needs a lot more paint, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it's just sad because the original one is really cool. I always thought this G1 figure, I don't have it, but I always thought it looked really cool. It had an amazing alt mode. And it transformed easily and smartly into a bot mode. A unique transformation for a tank former that didn't have the gun coming off of his back and blah, 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 And this one has the gun coming off his back, but that's regardless. So I think this will be a pass for both of us.
Yeah.
Even if it's on sale for me, I don't know about you.
Have to be one of those Target sales, those
deep cuts, right?
Deep cuts, yeah.
All right, well, let's move into the other one. And Slipstream was shown off. So before I go, why don't you talk about it?
This one looks much better than the what's her name?
Windblade.
Windblade. The head sculpt looks great. The I think the darker colors in the purple and the teal on the wings, it's gaptastic, but it definitely doesn't stand out, I think, as much. I like the colors in the legs, and I still haven't taken my wind blade out the box, so I don't know about the feel of the character and transformation and all that. But I think this actually looks okay.
Yeah, I think it looks okay as well. I'll get into my problems with it, but first I wanted to say there's a new head and blasters. So those are the only new parts on a figure that doesn't look, or a character that doesn't look anything like Windblade. The only new parts they did were the head and the hands, or the head and the guns. I don't know why they didn't put the effort into Quake into this, because this is, I think, a more fan-requested character. They used the original Starscream head. He said it, quote unquote, the OG Starscream head to mold this one, and he changed a few things. I don't know what that OG Starscream is. I think he's meaning Earthrise Starscream. I could be wrong. And I guess a cool part is you can actually see the pilot in the cockpit because it's see-through now. I didn't know that. But what do you think of this jet mode?
Be honest, I don't know the character. I know the character from you talking about it and raving about it. So I don't know if this is relevant to what she looked like from the. I think she was on the Toon, right? Cyberverse?
And we'll get to that. Just comment on this.
But I think it looks fine. It looks like a jet. It's the colors look great on it. I think it looks good, and I must say I will pick this up on discount. I will pick this up because I think it does look better than the Windblade.
I will agree with you. In jet mode, I think it looks cool. Honestly, I love all the different colors. Not a big fan of that like gray part right above the knees in the center.
Okay.
I wish that was purple to go with the rest of it. But again, that's nitpicking. I think this looks good in alt mode, honestly. Don't like the VTOL jets or turbines, whatever they're called, on Windblade. Doesn't make sense. She didn't have them. But Mark Clonis also showed off some pictures. The only really new thing is that you could see the null rays. They kind of go behind the arms. They did not add holes so she could have actual null rays, which is kind of ridiculous, if you ask me, on a Seeker. And he also said that he knew people wanted a Voyager, but the team wouldn't allow it, which is code for me. The people in charge of the budget said, you're working with what you're working with. We're not giving you the money to make another mold.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And moving on, this is why I dislike the figure. This is what it's supposed to look like. I'm not a big fan of Cyberverse Slipstream. Don't know much about it, honestly. Going to be 100% honest. But what I do know is if I did care about that character, this is a very poor representation of what it's supposed to look like.
There's no red.
I think it's supposed to be purple. It's just lighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's nothing similar between these two besides there's wings on the back and has teal on the legs and purple, the color scheme.
Yeah,
but
there's no.
They should have. Yeah, exactly. Like they could have remolded it a little bit. Maybe remolded the wings so they don't have the turbines in it. Remolded the chest to look more similar, even if it's a fake chest. The legs, okay, whatever. Maybe add a splotch of red there. Something. Change the whole shoulder. That's what they could have done. They could have changed out the shoulder assembly to have the guns go on that.
Yeah.
So I might have picked up this figure if they put in effort. To me, it seems like I'm not saying Mark Clonis, I think, who is the head of it. I'm not saying he didn't do effort. It's the people giving out the budgets that didn't see, progress or didn't see. What's that called? Profits. There we go. That's the word I was trying to think of. Didn't see profits in this, even though everybody probably told them that it needed to be a Voyager and have a new mold. And it's kind of sad because I don't think we've had a Voyager female Transformer since Alita 1 in, was it Titan's Return or Combiner War? It was the last one of that trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's the last and I'm like, why not? That's why we need a Striker Commander class. But what are your thoughts on how this is what this is supposed to be?
Well,
I
I
had to
think
look this up because I was like, "Am I going crazy? This looks nothing like Slipstream."
well, I when I was talking about the red, I shouldn't have said red. It's more like it's just a different hue of
It's a
purple.
different tone of purple. It's like they used the animated paint or animated color scheme of Slipstream instead of the Cyberverse one.
Okay, and I don't know the difference, but just looking at the picture you have up here, there's two different tones of purple, and I don't see that represented in this
Well,
figure.
there are two different tones. If you look at the forearms versus the shoulder pads.
I'm talking about along in the chest and
Oh, in the chest. Gotcha.
I'm sorry. Let me
Okay.
and around the crotch area. And again, who knows what they were able to do and what they weren't able to do.
That
But
could also be shadows on the Cyberverse art.
okay. And again, I have no idea because I'm not familiar with it. But I do like the way that the Cyberverse one looks better. I like the different shades there. This toy looks fine as well. Don't get me wrong, but in representation of the what it's supposed to look like, if that's what it's supposed to look like, it doesn't hit the mark for me.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get at. Some people were actually saying they're going to get it and just call it female G2 Ramjet because it has the VTOL wings and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah,
And it looks like a decent figure. I just don't think it's a good representation of what it's supposed to. They should have just called it Slipstream instead of Cyberverse Slipstream because then you wouldn't have anything to compare it to. I also think if you plucked off a Windblade head and put it on this, it would make a really good shattered glass Windblade.
I like
Maybe
it.
painted a few details. I don't remember the color of the head. I think that would work pretty well.
I do have a thing for shattered glass.
You could do it. And that's a custom you can do. Just pop the head off and pop it on. So, all right, let's move into some third-party stuff. And Robo Lucas Kite has some stickers for Soundwave and Sound Blaster and Runabout. So these are pretty cool. If I get Sound Blaster, I might think about getting the purple one because I like the purple chest. But then again, I don't know if I want to put a sticker over a figure that expensive.
Yeah, and again, this is where I got my Runabout sticker from. So it makes it look great. I do not have my Sound Blaster as of yet either, so I'll be waiting to get that. And yeah, I don't know if I'll get the sticker or not, but I love that there's options, and who doesn't love a multi-buy discount?
Yes, definitely. I think if you buy a second one, it's only £2. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Next, so this is something that Bobby put on. So Your Guiding X is going to have a Kickstarter for some TF pins. I don't know if these are officially licensed or not. I don't think they are, but they look really cool. So if you're into this sort of thing, go check out their Kickstarter. I think it might be active as of now. Either which way, I think they're cool.
I know how much you love that Bumblebee.
Yeah, I was thinking more the Blitzwing. I always liked the three faces on Blitzwing that animated it. I thought that was a really unique and fun spin on that character. That doesn't really... Does Blitzwing have a personality in G1?
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't really have one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was definitely thrown off when I saw that. I was like,
I thought that was cute. I thought it was fun.
This is corny.
That's why I liked it. In G1, he's just a big, I'm going to beat you up guy. And this one, he has that, and he has the scientist. And then this is my favorite one. That's why I was like, well, maybe I'll get that.
Yeah, I could see you picking up. That was the first one I thought you would have picked up. I could see you possibly getting the Starscream as well.
Probably not. Now, if they remolded into Universe Ramjet, I'll pick it up. They have a lot on their site. Go check out their site. More than just Transformers. If you're into Sonic, there's a lot of that stuff too. So,
nice.
Next, we've got Funby Studios. They're making a crown for Cybertron Starscream. The crown looks great. It looks oversized, but you can't really do much about it. with the figure set, it has to fit. It's not like real life. So I think it looks good though.
It looks fine. So did Cybertron?
Don't ask me. I don't know the story behind this. Please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, I mean, again, I only think about The only time I think about
haven't watched these. I watched them when they were on TV when I was a kid, and I don't think I ever saw all of the episodes in chronological order.
And I think I started to watch Cybertron. I tried to watch it and I didn't finish it. So it does make me, because the only time I know of Starscream wearing a crown is in the movie. So all these other versions that come with the crown, I'm just like, okay, did they do that, redo that scene in multiple multiple worlds of the continuum?
Yeah, well, you never know. They might have. Next, we've got some fish. And Doomsday from Transformers Armada, the ship. I like this ship. It reminds me of a pirate ship. And this would be a really cool figure. This is what Thundertron should turn into if he didn't turn into a lion. This sort of, pirate ship thing would be really cool. At least that's what I'm sure it's not supposed to be that, but that's what I see when I look at it. And the fish, I don't remember these from the movie, but I'm sure you're going to be buying like 20 of them.
I need these fish. I really do need these fish because I actually have that octopus in one of my display cases. So, yeah, I really need some fish. So, I need to figure out how to get some of those.
Yep, go ahead and let us know if you have a 3D printer and you're willing to do some side work for Bobby. So I didn't know if this was real or not, but Mechanical Skull Studios on their Volvo Prime has this really cool upgrade set to give them like a missile arm and a gun arm. And I guess it's based on some concept art. These are the same people that did the Antagony upgrade set, I believe. But there wasn't much information. I think this looks cool though, regardless.
Yeah, it does. And there was a lot of pictures that they had available. And I was just like, wow, that's really, really cool. Even it plugs into the trailer, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I think it's a good looking kit.
Yeah, I agree. If I had this Prime, I'd pick it up. Now, the real question is, are they going to make one for the Christmas set? Because that would be really cool. But let's keep it going into Legends territory, and I think you're going to get all three of these.
Oh. Yeah.
So we've got Dr. Wu's Menace King. What do you think of this?
Excuse me. This is me nitpicking because this is the only thing I can say about this. The head is not quite right. I absolutely love it. Even with the head not being quite right, this looks great. This size, the detail around the chest. They could have added some red and on the inside of his legs and things, but all that's nitpicking. This is gorgeous.
Well, I'll nitpick for a second. You'll see it in some other pictures, but I don't like that his right arm is a hinge only. So it doesn't allow you to do that Megatron over the shoulder type of thing.
Oh.
I don't like that. But again, it's so small. I get it. I'm not going to complain too much. I think this looks good as well. And I think you're going to automatically pick it up because it turns into a gun.
Yep. It's pre-ordered. Dr. Wu, thank you.
I think this looks really cool. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to see how this thing transforms. It's very interesting and unique for a figure this tiny to turn into a gun when you've seen how MP36 transforms.
Oh yeah, that's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
This looks amazing. Even with his chest, because it looks like the chest slides, since we can see his abdomen section.
I was thinking it was on like a swivel or something.
Well, it looks like it. Well, it could be, but it looks like it's two. From it being on top of each other to it being.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But either way, I think it looks great. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, I knew you would be, and it comes with the silencer and the stock.
Hold on.
I'm just wondering who could hold this. That's where my mind went to.
So
to make me want to buy this,
What I'm thinking is it should be small enough for MP figures to hold it.
I don't know if it's that small.
I don't know.
We'll see.
They're-
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of the
Maybe the combiner or something.
Yeah,
But I did want to throw this picture in with all of the Decepticons. These look really good together, and I'm sure you're kicking yourself in the butt for not jumping in on these sooner.
You know, it's funny. Like right when you showed this picture, I was just like, "Oh, that would have been nice to have."
Because they do look really good together.
They do, and they just. I wish we could get more versions of this. I just think it's amazing.
They also showed off the toy colors, which it's funny you talked about the red on the legs. Here's the red on the legs. It needs red on the arms too, but that would have been like impossible to do at this size with how this thing transforms. So I get it. If I was to get one, it probably would be this one. I like the silver face. I don't think the other ones had a silver face. No. I like the red on the legs. Not a big fan of the chest decals. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. They're too like squished together, but I think this would be the one I would pick up.
I'm getting this one too.
And here you could see that the arm is hinged, so you can't.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. And lastly, we have the, what would this be called?
Translucent?
No, what would the word be when
transparent?
When he turns into Galvatron.
Oh, when he's
transmogrifies. I don't know.
He's transforming. No. Yes. Yeah. I'm. Yeah.
You're getting this one too, aren't you?
I am, and now I'm gonna have to go back and get the Galvatron.
I've got to say, I love that the face is painted that metallic blue. I think it just stands out and looks really good. So, yeah, I like this one.
Yeah. I'm. They have me for all three.
Yeah. Will you be getting this too? This is Pengu Toys PT09 Wikiwand. I'm not going to comment on that name. So I guess this is a reference to Silver Samurai from X-Men.
I can. Yes, now that you say it, I can see it. It looks really good. I don't think I'm going to pick it up. I did get their Loki, and that is probably going to be good enough for me.
Yeah,
this one does look better though.
Yes, I do. I think this does look better than the Loki. It's kind of one tone, but it's supposed to be. I like all the weapons he comes with. He comes with like tonfas, and they could turn into guns and stuff. The alt mode is what it is. It's not my favorite alt mode at all, but if this was like $30, I might pick it up. But I think it's more than that. Wasn't Loki like $50 or something?
I want to say it was more than that. For some reason, 65.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pick it up for
and
that.
And then something else was saying 80, and I hope I didn't pay 80.
I don't think it's $80. Right. But I think this looks good. I think you need to pick this up though, because you already have the Loki and the Joker and the Batman and the Catwoman. You might as well have Silver Samurai, which is a deep cut to it.
I actually, this does look good, and again, on sale, they might have me.
You should just pick it up anyways. Next, we've got Night Tracer from Magic Square. And I think these are new. I don't know, but it is a darker blue than the original one, and I think these are maybe the toy colors, if I'm not mistaken. But it does look really, really nice. You're picking this up, aren't you?
I'm not.
Oh, look at that face, though.
I'm like, it looks really good. It looks really, really good.
It does. It does. I love the posability. Like, not a lot of figures can crouch like that and still have both hands on their guns.
And be looking up.
And be looking up. Correct. So, I think this looks great. I just don't need a Legends Bruticus in my collection. I think you do, though. You're getting all those Legends figures now.
No.
You have Legends Marvel figures. You might as well have Legends Bruticus in your collection.
No, I'm not getting it. I'm not going down that route. This is a different color, but it's not different enough. Like, maybe if they did G2,
you already have it. What's the difference between getting that? You already have a G2.
But like, that's what I was about to say. I might be more inclined to look at it because I do have a G2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, there's no reason to get it.
Yeah, you should pick it up anyways. You also need to get this now that you're going into Legends. So this is Iron Factory Series Kari Vajra, I think it is. IFEX 53K. So this is Lockdown, but repainted into the movie colors. Because if you remember the Lockdown that came out, I think we talked about it a few times. This is the all silver black colors. I've never been a fan of this figure. I don't like how wide his hips are. I just don't. It throws the whole thing off. I don't like all the detailing. I never understood the hat. Maybe that's a monk thing. Honestly, it could be. But I love the alt mode. That alt mode is so cool with the skulls as headlights. I really like that. It's just the rest of the figure is kind of... It's not locked down enough for me. It's definitely the Iron Samurai lockdown, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, the alt mode is definitely different. It looks like a evil Batmobile or something like that.
It looks like a Yakuza's mob boss type of car. You know, and he sits in the back, even though you couldn't in this car, but just pretend. So
his head's in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the thing on top of his head, whatever that thing is either. That's kind of weird to me. And I completely agree with you. The wide hips, I mean, you know, he definitely has some bad surgery, you know.
Or he needs some bad surgery.
Yeah, he definitely got, you know. It's Lockdown is never been one of my favorite characters, or even a character I can say I liked. Didn't even really know about it until you. So it's fine. The hook hand looks kind of cool, but that's pretty much all I can go with.
Yeah. On the alternate route, Lockdown's one of my all-time favorite characters, and we have not had a figure in the last decade that has lived up to his name, and we're not going to for a while. So, anyways, let's keep it going on to some updates. Let's just get this out of the way. We got Robot Battlers, new stock images. The only interesting thing about these is I think that's the Transformers 1 Starscream design. Kind of chibi-fied, but I think that's what he's going to look like, which is kind of cool. It looks fine. I know you love this Alpha Trion. It's exactly what you want out of an Alpha Trion.
I think that I just do not like it. Yeah, we don't have to spend a lot of time here. This isn't for us.
This is for us, though. We've got the Cliff Jumper from the 4-pack and these pictures of the Notrab. I just want this already to slap a Decepticon symbol on him and make him Stinger.
Yeah, I'm curious to play with this alt mode. You know, that was one of the things that we were both interested in. It was the transformation. So I'm looking forward to this one. I still think you should get the MP version from, what is it, APK or something like that?
Not an MP version.
Oh, that one's not?
That's just Chug.
Oh, okay.
It's the same size as the original Prime figures that came out.
Okay.
But I wouldn't get it because it looks like a Prime figure. Now, if it looked like this, but was it MP size, I probably would pick that up to be an MP Stinger.
Okay, gotcha. This looks good, and these pictures and the detail in the picture, like the quality of the photo, it makes it actually look like a better figure than what we saw in the stock images.
Notrab seems to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit. I don't know if this is a gag or not, so I put it in here, but be fair warned, this might be fake. They found gears with a variant head, and this is via Chefitron, found in the Philippines. It's a wrong blue, but I can't figure out what figure this head comes from.
It looks like skids.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Okay, well maybe that's what it is, and they're trying to play one on us.
Yeah, it looks like it's the skid's head. Now the crazy thing is, I've seen where they, perfect in package, where they packaged the wrong figure or wrong details of a figure and sold it in stores and stuff. So it could have been those, ones that the person that's supposed to be looking at it took a phone call or something like that. The part that really bothers me, though, is that they have Toys R Us. That's the first thing I noticed.
Well, let me know if these are the Skids ones and something weird happened. Either which way, they found it in the store. So
yeah.
This is what I was talking about. No Trap making figures look better than they really are, because this Draxus looks really good in these images, and I really hope we come out with a non-comic version of this, because I'd probably pick that up. I just don't like the black goop raining down on it from his knees.
I think it looks great. I think I'm more excited about this than maybe any other Hasbro figure that we've talked about recently that I don't already have.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why. I think this looks great. They did a good job. The alt mode looks good too, and I think the comic stuff looks good-ish on this. I'm glad they didn't go overboard with it, but I still would want one without any of that stuff. And I think if they remolded it this extensively, we probably will get a normal version, but if we don't, I'm not crying over it.
The other part about this one is they did a lot of detail on this, and this is kind of what I was talking about with that Quake that I wanted to see, like just some different colors to break up, like for instance the gray on here with the gray.
I was going to
the
say
red.
the arm portions are they have a lot of blue to break it up and stuff.
Yeah, there's all these different colors in there, and so with this one in particular, like they can add, some stickers. They can probably come out with a sticker set, but this is one that I don't think really needs it.
Yeah, unless you want to cover up those weird comic lines.
Yeah.
Which stickers would not be the best way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we've got New Age Toys H62 Louis, which is Blaster. So if you remember, they teased us with an Iron Maiden thing, like teaser, I guess. And I just want to say, if anybody knows why Blaster is with Iron Maiden, please let me know, besides they're both music. I think it would make much more sense to have done some like DJ or rapper or something like that than Iron Maiden. But either which way, what do you think of this figure?
This too looks very good. I really like the colors on here. That the tone of red they use is really good. The yellow on the chest looks really good. This is a great looking Blaster.
Yeah, I agree. But the most surprising part is that it comes with transforming cassettes that are legend scale. That's kind of crazy.
They knocked it out with this. Honestly, that ram horn looks better than some of the MP versions we've gotten.
It does. It really does. Even the rewind does look some of the MP versions. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And it has all the posability, at least, the rewind, that I can see that you would need out of something so tiny. So they did really good on this set.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to transform that, but they look great.
Biden tried. Oh no, get the SG colors.
I already have a MP Shadow Glass.
Well, you need them to go with your Dinobots. In SG Universe, Blaster makes the Dinobot, so you need to get it.
I don't recall that.
That's me completely lying to you to get it.
And I was gonna say, and I'm not gonna look it up to see if that's true.
Let's talk about what's incoming. The first thing is the DNA Designs accessory set for Rise of the Beast Ultimate Class Optimus Primal, and these are via Lost in Transformers on Instagram. So this is the one that they have the KO of, not the Studio Series one. And this looks really cool with these.
That's giving me some Baraka vibes there.
Yes, it's two of them. It should be one if it's Baraka, but you could put him up, I think, like the other one is, and that's how he was. Well, he never transformed in the movies, the robot mode, so who knows what it's supposed to be, but it does look really cool. Would you pick this setup if you had this Primal?
If I had this Primal, yes, I would. But I don't see myself getting this Primal, so I never really looked or considered this set.
Get the KO now and get the set.
I don't consider myself getting that KO either, which means I wouldn't be getting this set.
Yeah, me neither.
This is your world. Beast Wars, this is all you, buddy.
No, this is movie. I think it looks good, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks fine. Yeah, just not for me either.
This is all for you, though. We got Magic Square Tours Brontosaurus. So I don't think you have Legends Dinobots, so go ahead and pick these up. Legends normal Dinobots, not Shattered Glass. Those don't count.
Those are the only ones that are going to count for my collection. I do not need 6 sets of Dinobots.
Is that including Kang?
I don't need 7 sets of Dinobots.
Well, you'll probably have 7 before you know it.
Well,
but
I don't need Legends to create a 7 set of Dinobots. There we go.
These pictures, though, I think look really good. I think it makes it look better, the yellow especially, than what we've seen before. But that could be, it looks a little blurry. Maybe that's photo effects or whatever.
Yes, the yellow looks toned down.
Yeah. It all actually, now that you say that, looks toned down. But it does look good.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know. I know a few of our viewers are getting this, so let us know if you did get it already or what you think of it.
Yeah, it looks great otherwise.
Keeping in Legends territory, New Age Road Games and Sorcerer are coming out.
I saw a transformation video of these, and I just think it's so cool when you have 2 things that look the same in one mode, and the transformation to the other mode is completely different. And these would have been the 2 that I picked up if I was going to pick these up.
Yeah, I think these look really cool as well. I am very bummed, though, that we didn't get Mario and Luigi, and I will take that as a personal affront to never buy New Age products in the future.
You got to get that movie Megatron.
Oh God, no! That if I'm not buying that, I would buy a lot of stuff before that. I'm just gonna say that. Not that it's a bad figure. I would buy these 2 before that Megatron.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. But I could see you buying it because you ranted and raved on how cool it looked. Next, we've got Robot Paratoys RP01C. So the blaster just came out, but Genesis Toys is saying that this should be in stock soon. So what do you think about these guys?
I think they look cute. I'm in for this set as well. I do agree. I have to agree with you. I think the Buzzsaw looks the best out of all 4. Yeah, I think the Buzzsaw looks the best. I have some. I can't even remember who made them. I have a few of these tapes, so it'll be interesting to see how they look from Fans Toys or Robot Paradise. Excuse me.
For me, if I was to get a Soundwave or Sound Blaster, I don't know if I'd get the set. And the only thing is because the Stegosaurus, I feel like he needs to be green, not this yellow color. But I did look at the animation, and it is animation accurate. This is the color it's supposed to be. But the toy was more of a green color. So, tomato, tomato. But I don't like that. Buzzsaw looks great. I hate the Auto Scout, whatever it's called. I've always disliked that figure. I don't understand it. I'm sure there's an episode in G1 where it is. But I think it is just the most ugly thing in the world. It looks like something out of the 50s, and nothing wrong with that. But I don't like it. And the Overkill is the second best in this. I think it looks really good. I'm amazed at how they got such a smooth robot back from a tape. I think that is really cool and very unique. But I wish that Slugfest was more green.
I think the details in the Slugfest look really good.
They do. It looks like a good figure. I personally don't like the color because I don't want a toon one. I would want a toy one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know these were in the toon, but I guess they were.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in for this set. I'm happy that they're coming out. It's always good when they release figures. They meaning Fans Toys / Robot Paradise.
Yes, so we'll see. This is all you, though. We've got Collection Space CS02 Transformable Little Red Mecha Girl. I know you're picking this up. Everybody, if they watched our previous videos on this figure, know that you're picking it up.
Yeah, I was supposed to pay off my balance. I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I wasn't motivated to do it, and I haven't felt that way in a while. I think she looks great without all the kibble and things. That transformation was just a pain with the bee. So I am gonna get it. I just have to just get motivated.
Yeah. I don't like the alt mode, and especially since it can all be taken off, I feel like they should have just remolded it into something that looked like Cliff Jumper.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Put a little spoiler on it.
Yeah, make it not look like a bug. But I think it's fine. And I'll be waiting for the glyph, whenever they come out with that, because that is supposed to be a female bee.
It's things like this that, when they don't do it, it's just like you already have the mold done. Just slap some more paint in, a different color paint, and you can do it.
And it would literally be what it's supposed to be. And I think people would buy a blue one just as much as they'd buy a red one, if not more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do us that favor.
There you go, collection space. Let's talk about what's recently released. Only one thing, but it's all you again. We've got Purple Landball.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you these things were going to come out fast.
You were right.
Yeah, I mean the whole set within 2 months. You'll have the whole set. Yeah, we're there.
Almost one more to be released after this.
Yeah, Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're it should be out. It'll probably be out like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So
it looks great, and I know you didn't like the purple. I think this one.
No, it's not. It's not that I didn't like the purple. Disclaimer.
It looked like just a blob.
In combined mode.
Yeah.
Individually, I think this is amazing. It's just the combined mode. There needed to be more separation. I don't know.
I think this one, at least in this bot mode right here, the color
shines.
The colors look great, and I was trying to think of the word. It starts with a D, and I can't think of it. But how the colors spread out throughout the figure.
How they're distributed.
Good. Yes, that wasn't the word. Yeah, I guess it was the distribution of color. Yeah, looks amazing. It looks really good.
I agree, like how there's a little green on the thigh on the bottom,
mm-hmm.
green around the knee. There's just enough. And this is what I wanted the combined mode to look like. Where there's just enough gray and black in certain areas mm-hmm. to where you could pick out, okay, that's the thigh. My eyes focus on the center on this guy. Honestly, the eyes, because the eyes are bright green. On the combined mode, your eyes don't have anywhere to focus because it's all the same. From the pictures we've seen, again, if I saw it in person in front of me, I'd probably be able to get a better sense of it. But from the pictures I've seen, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I haven't transformed any of them yet. So I am going to get them all, take a picture of them all in bot mode, transform them all into Beast and take a picture, and then combine them. Oh, God, that's going to be so painful. And then take a picture, and then I think I'm going to have these as bots.
And you're going to be doing that live, right? Stay tuned. It'll be like a 24-hour live stream of Bobby transforming these.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll be alive while I'm doing it.
We'll do the 24-hour streaming challenge. That's fine. And it'll just be you. I won't be there. It'll just be you transforming these things. Me
and my little box of Band-Aids or...
So what I would recommend is to do one a night. Because I did that with mine and it wasn't horrible.
Well, yeah, that's not going to happen. I get anxious, so...
Yeah.
Now, actually, who knows? With as busy as my schedule's been getting, that probably does sound probably more feasible.
Than sitting there for 5 hours doing all of that.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's everything we have for you. Let us know what your favorite one was. And we'll see you in the next one. Bobby, what should they do?
Go ahead. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Go ahead and click that notification button. Please like the video, share the video, hit us up in the comments, and definitely catch us tomorrow on Deluxe's show. Again, we said 5:30
Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, so definitely check us out there. We will be posting a link once we get that link and sharing that as well. So looking forward to it. And as always, to all debates are won.